man may not be on the top of his form, but he can still make himself useful.
Welcome back to the By Design Podcast. I'm your host, Ronnie Knuckles. We have a really cool guest that came on today, Mr. Josh Minkins Jr. Josh played at the University of Louisville. He actually grew up in Louisville, played for Ballard High School, got recruited by several universities, decided to go play at the college level at the University of Louisville. His final year of eligibility, he actually transferred to Cincinnati, played under his former coach at U of L, Mr. Scott Satterfield, and got drafted by the New England Patriots in this last draft. So I wanted to have Josh come on and tell his story, you know, what that journey was like, what it was like inside of the draft combine, and, you know, what he's doing now and what he's doing in the community and what his plans are in the future. I thought it would be really neat to kind of get an inside peek at what that world looks like. There's a lot of pressure on these athletes, and you have to be exceptional to make it to that level, and Josh is. He's a great guy. I think you guys are going to enjoy this episode. If you like this show, please share it, like it. We're growing this thing organically. So anytime that someone likes our show or shares a clip or shares the show, it goes a long way in helping us grow this thing. We greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. We hope you get some value out of this. Let's get this thing started.
So that's cool. Okay. COVID was weird, though, that year, especially with – and when was NIL running out?
It didn't even start till like 2022 or 2023, did it?
NIL was 2021.
Yeah,
okay,
so it
started
started
right after COVID.
Yeah, summer 2021.
So did you have who's the dude? Big Dog came from UK, went to U of L. Was he after you at all?
Morrow?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Vince
what I said.
Morrow.
Yeah, Vince Morrow. Yeah, he was there when I was getting recruited. So I kind of talked to him. I had a relationship with him, but that's why I was like, we kind of lost touch after a while because I was like,
yeah.
I thought that was such a weird move, him going from Kentucky to Louisville.
Well, I think Louisville was with Brom.
Well, I think him and Brom are really good friends.
Yeah.
So I went to the Louisville-Kentucky basketball game when Kenny Payne was still there, and we were sitting. There was nobody there.
Yeah,
we went down real close to the floor, and then he walked in and was sitting next to Brom, and they were talking the whole game. And I was like,
I remember seeing. I think
I feel weird about this. I feel like he might go to Louisville.
What year? The year before he
2022 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's only been there.
It was Kenny Payne's second year. I don't know, whatever that was.
And I think this is Brom's second year back.
Well, no, it's Brown's third.
Third year back. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
My first year was my last year was his first at Louisville.
Okay. Oh, you left there. Did you play
I
under
played
him?
under him, and then we went to the AC championship game, and after that I left. So that was the first year he got there.
I got you. How was that? You got to play in the game. You played that whole season, didn't you?
I was in and out. I was hurt a little bit, banged up, but you know,
I feel like that happens, dude.
Yeah,
Football is one of those sports where
it just is.
And I was trying to, prove myself to them, and I just was in and out of the rotation, just hurt. And
trying to think who else was on that roster that your freshman year. You played freshman year?
Yeah, I was in
and out.
Yeah, in and out. Yeah, I was young.
I mean, it's hard to come in as a true freshman.
And then there was COVID, and we had to learn everything virtually. So I was like.
Did you get an extra year of eligibility because of that?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
Because I didn't redshirt. I just straight up, 4 years, and then it was like, oh, you got a COVID year. So I was like, all right, I'll take it. So,
yeah.
And then you played 1 year in Cincinnati or 2?
Yeah, one.
How was it? Was it a big difference for going from, Louisville to Cincinnati? In my mind, as just a fan, they have similar
It probably wasn't
cultures.
that different, though, because you went from the Louisville coach to the, same coach.
Yeah.
Different
Oh,
program.
yeah, you're used to the coach.
I mean, really the only thing different, honestly, was just the conference and just the atmosphere and just, not being home. And then you're going to a different spot. It's like, okay, you got to kind of rebrand yourself again. But they were familiar with who I was, so they knew me. So it was easy to try to
plug you into their system.
Yeah.
And, everybody was genuine and stuff like that. The relationships up there were I can go back there today and it's
It's all love.
Yeah,
you only played there a year, too.
I only played there a year, and I'm really I wish I had another year because I would have went back and played again, and it probably would have helped me out more, this year. So,
yeah. So what's that look like when you go? You decide you're going to transfer, get yourself some more playing time, and then I saw the West Virginia thing.
Yeah.
Was Neil Brown still
there?
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't even know that name.
Yeah.
He just got hired somewhere, North Texas maybe.
somewhere. He's on the move.
I
He's on the
I think
move.
North Texas hired him.
When I think of West Virginia, I just think of Pat White and Steve Slate.
Oh,
That's
dude,
it.
they were a crazy
Tavon
good.
Austin.
Tavon Austin too. Yeah.
Back in the day, well, you didn't want to play West Virginia.
There was someone else from there too, a receiver, but I can't remember who. But
yeah, they were
maybe.
well, they're kind of a basketball school.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
They're kind of. I mean, like
Bob Huggins.
Bob
Bob
Huggins
Huggins kind
is-
of before Bob Huggins though. West Virginia, they were known to be like they had a really good football program, and
Yeah.
I think they invested a lot of their time and money into basketball.
Yeah.
And then their football program ain't been right. Yeah. They had Neil Brown. He's a Kentucky guy,
I remember
actually.
Pat White was torching us. I went to that game when they came here and played us. Pat White and Steve Slate. That was so fun. Stormed the field and stuff. Man, I was a kid. I was like, I don't know. I was under 10 probably. I was on ESPN and stuff. It was cool.
So I want to go back a little bit and ask you, like, you grew up here. You went to Ballard. What was it like? So one of the things, we had Corbin Dickerson on with the Mariners, and, he went to Trinity. So, in baseball, you get a lot of baseball, football players coming out of those kind of private Catholic schools. And in the public school world, I mean, you get some one-off guys. Like, you're a good example of that. Dude went to Moore.
J.J. Weaver.
J.J. Weaver.
Yeah.
You'll get some of that. But a lot of the times, I came from Fern Creek. Dakota went to Fern Creek. Like, you don't see a lot of public school kids in Louisville that
Go
get to
D1.
the next level.
They go D1 for real.
So my question is, like, what is that? Is there anything that you did differently, that maybe you worked harder or whatever it is that kind of helped you stand out and get to that next level that maybe some other guys could use?
Yeah, I would just say, like, just from day one, like, I knew what I wanted to do. And, like, I seen it, because my dad played a little bit, too. And, like, he kind of went to the Bears, and then, like, he got hurt. And he kind of just, like.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he was with them for, like, the offseason. He blew his knee out, and he was like, I'm just going to be full-time father mode. He kind of just, was like, man, I don't want to deal with football. And, like, it was a period of time he didn't watch football at all. And, like, he was like, the only reason why he really watched football is because I was playing.
Yeah.
And then my younger brother came after me. And I was like, man, like, I just wanted to do something different, And I'm like, we're from a city and like a state that's not really, it's known, but as far as like sports wise, like we're kind of like a basketball more.
It's a college.
That's
town.
exactly what we were talking
like
about
it's not
before.
really
Yeah.
football, but it's football. Like we've
Yeah.
been in games and stuff like that. Like we've played in games and won, but for me, like when I was getting recruited out of high school, everybody was like, man, y'all don't play anybody. They were like, we need to see you at camps and stuff. So like, I'm like, all right, like I can go out there and do whatever. And I just went to camps and just dominated. And then like when I was younger, like I always instilled like I'm going to make it this far and make it to this level.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people, like, they kind of just fall into the wrong things. And I just kind of stayed on that path where it was like, I'm going to just stick to this and do this. And, whatever, comes with it, comes with it. But, now I'm at a period where it's like I haven't been able to play. So it's like it's kind of weird because I'm trying to, like, venture off into different things and figure out different stuff and kind of stay with it, too. But, God has a plan for me. And I ain't really, pressed about what happens because
it's gonna happen.
it happens for a reason. I
Yep.
mean, there's still other opportunities out here to play. So I'm looking forward to whatever comes next.
We talk about that a lot. Like God's got it all worked out anyway, and whatever you were supposed to do, that's what's gonna play out.
For sure.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. And something that I think, like even for me, like I didn't have when I was I wasn't like a freak athlete at all, obviously. But my point is like I didn't have my head on the swivel though. I mean, I was just kind of like doing whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whatever was fun, whatever was the next thing. I didn't have that
Vision.
that focus.
Yeah.
And I think that when you see kids that make it to the next level, whether it was from their parents or whatever it was, they have just a certain level of focus where it's like, dude, I ain't getting in all that. Like I have my mind set on this thing and this is what I want. And I wish, and that's my hope for my kids. Like, not that they need to go D1, but that they need to be confident enough in themselves to be like, look, bro, this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
Well, you spend so much time to it, like time doing it. You wanted them to take it serious.
And did you do like outside of high school ball? I know like my kids play baseball. That's their big thing. Is there like a travel deal with football outside of regular like high school games? Like, is there what's that look like in the football world?
For football, it was like 7-on-7. But like when I first started like traveling, I was doing basketball. I really was basketball more. I did baseball too, and then I did like a little bit of track because I used to go to New Jersey all the time and go up there and play like we used to run track. We used to like wrestle and stuff like that because my dad's from there, so a lot of my family is out there. So like when I went up there, it was like I kind of got to go against other competition. But then when I got to a point. It was like, okay, I'm doing basketball out here. I'm doing this, and then I was like,
I gotta pick one.
Yeah, I got to pick one. So
Yeah,
I got
when
to.
you get a little bit older.
Yeah, you got. I really love baseball. I was a big baseball guy, and I like.
What position you play?
Shortstop.
Huh.
Yeah, I played everything, but my main position was probably shortstop.
That's what Hudson wants to play.
Usually, when you're an
He loves
athlete
it,
growing
dude.
up, you're just good at all the sports, and then eventually, once you get to high school, you got to pick one to take serious.
Well, that's what we talked about earlier
Yeah.
with Corbin. He was like, "Dude, I played baseball when I was 8, and I never got to play the other sports. And now I wish, like,
Would've
one of my
played all.
biggest regrets was I didn't get to play anything else."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it kind of worked out. For
That's what I told him. I'm
though.
like, "Hey, you got drafted by the Mariners, bro, so it worked." I was like, "Yeah, but still, I feel like I kind of missed that part."
To say one thing though, I feel like social media is a lot different now for like I say his generation, but but I just think it's the way you can see stuff online now and get viewed, and plus your dad played in the NFL, so you like the realistic of playing in the NFL was there.
Yeah.
The reality of playing in the NFL was there.
Yeah.
For like me, like no one in my family's ever played professional sports, so it's like it's kind of a far-fetched dream. So it's kind of hard to really, my parents aren't going to instill that on me. But your dad played football growing up; he played D1, so it's kind of like it just runs in the family. So
That
it's
is
easier
true.
to see that
It
vision
does,
come to
yeah.
life once people.
And I know he
get
didn't
you
take no
around.
crap either.
I mean, he's laid back, chill, so he never really like. He wasn't that parent that was like
Well,
pushing
that
me.
might have been good though.
And I'm like, and I'm like, okay, maybe he, could have pushed me a little harder, but he didn't have to because I always knew what
You
I
saw
wanted
it.
to do. I
Yeah.
see it, and like I'm like, okay, like I see people that's like they get burnt out so fast, and their
Yeah.
kids just fall off, and it's like, what happened?
That happened
It's
to me.
like,
I got burnt out playing AAU ball. That circuit, dude. You're just playing.
it's
you
a
know.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Ah,
It's
bro,
a
it
lot.
was
That
bad.
travel ball was a lot.
Especially when you're a kid, man. I was, 13,
That's one of my
14.
fears,
I just
dude.
went to hang out with my friends, and I was having practice every single day, 10 games a weekend. I was like, this is traveling. Like, it's a lot.
Bro, now.
I was it was a point in time where
You
I
was
was
burnt
like,
out?
I was, but I was like, man, I got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I done came this far. I've been playing since I was 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm about to go to college. Like I got to keep going.
Yeah, you're already there, man.
Yeah.
And then you
Can't
get to
quit now.
college,
Yeah,
and
can't
then you
quit.
get to college, and it's like it's even worse than what it was when I was
Yeah.
younger. Like, and my schedule is just
It's
it's
10
a
times
job.
more
It's
commitment.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a job, and it's like I
is a
didn't have
job.
no free time to do nothing. I was always doing this, and I'm always but I loved it because it kept me busy. And it kept me
Focused.
focused on what I had to do.
We were talking about that too. Like one of the things, like NIL is the big talk in college sports right now. And back before NIL became what it is today, I used to always say, like, dude, they need to pay these dudes something because
Well, they probably
it is
were.
a job. Well, whatever, they may
Yeah.
have been, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying the majority of players weren't getting that, and
Right.
it's a job. Like you're requiring them to be there. I mean,
it's
multiple
over
times
40 hours a week.
You
It
can't
was-
go get no
Yeah.
job. You
Yeah.
can't.
I ain't gonna lie. It was times where I don't mean to cut you off, but it was
No, you're
times where
good.
like you waking up at 5:30, you got to be at the stadium by 6, and you leaving the stadium probably about 1.
That's what I mean. What
you
you
know what I'm
supposed to
saying?
do?
I mean, some days on Fridays, I think we was the earliest we'll be there. We had to work at like 6 a.m. We'll get done by about 12ish, but then there'll be days where you're there from like 7 to about 5, and then you look at your paycheck, they giving you $450 a month.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like.
That's like 4 meals
What are we
nowadays.
doing?
I'm like, bro, like this is before and this was my freshman year. Like we was getting $450 a month. I can promise they was cutting my checks in half because it was like you'll get 900. Majority of the time you'll get 900, and then be like 450 this month. It's
Yeah.
like, bro,
Yeah, what?
how am I supposed to, But
and then you got to go to class after all that.
yes,
by
you
the
got to
way.
do all this, and it's like, bro, it was crazy. And the NIL hit, and it's like, okay, now it's like, okay, we see the fruits of our labor. Like it's starting to come
It
more.
paid off.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of thing.
NIL
But think about
crazy to me,
that
man.
for like since the beginning of college football, dudes were getting paid like $450 a month and having to endure that. And I'm like, that ain't right, man.
Yeah.
Because these schools are making so much money off the
money.
players.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Like what Johnny Manziel was doing when he was at Texas A&M.
Crazy.
He was signing those autograph footballs for $7,500 an autograph. He was like, I signed 100 of them. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Texas A&M was giving me like $250 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing this university so many ticket sales and jersey sales, and I ain't seen none of
20
that. So
million
he was
a
like,
month or better, he's
he's
probably
just,
bringing
I'll
in.
just sign it. I mean, $7,500 to sign?
Yeah, dude,
Who's
that's
going to say
great.
no?
So when NIL rolled out, how'd that change for you guys? You know what I mean? What'd that look like? Like, how did they roll it
Well,
out?
you started to see a lot of more guys
Yeah.
like that was like. It's like you just started to change the whole atmosphere of everything. Like
Yeah.
dudes started to really like
Pulling up in different cars.
Yeah, different cars. You seen this dude pull up in a Tahoe. This dude pull up in a Charger. This dude pulling up in this. And it's like now it's like okay, like some of the dudes that I was like over now, like when I was a senior and stuff like the freshman, like okay,
Yeah.
like you see them, I'm like, you want that for them because you deserve it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You play for what you.
But you
work.
didn't get that.
But nah, I caught it the last year.
Yeah.
You know.
So you caught it when you got to
Yeah,
Cincy.
yeah. Well, like Louisville, I had they gave me a couple cards. first just to, ride around and stuff like that. But I didn't really get no money like that crazy. I probably shouldn't say that, but,
they took care of you for what they can.
They
But
did, but
just think about what it's going to be in 5 years from now. You're going to get a mansion.
Well, I think
they're paying that Kentucky kid $2 million. He hasn't touched the floor this year.
He's trash. I can't think of his name.
No, he hasn't played yet.
Talking about Calzone or
No,
Calzado?
I'm talking about Jaden, the basketball player.
Oh, yeah.
He came from Arizona State.
Yeah, he was a 5-star, and they're paying him $2 million. He ain't touched the floor. That's crazy.
He's hurt. Yeah,
Which it sucks. I know he's hurt, but like $2 million.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what I was going to say. I think they're going to eventually. It's a Wild West.
It's got to be
now.
performance based.
They're going to come up with the performance base. They're going to make it contractual.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You know what I mean? At least they're going to be able to get paid.
Yeah.
But they're not going to let this go forever. Eventually, they're going to say, "Hey."
I like the thought of NIL though, because a lot of people don't make it to the league, so it does give.
Yeah, it sets them up.
It does set
Agreed.
people up, athletes up for a career after.
Well, they're sacrificing
sports.
their body and their time for a school. They should get compensated.
Well, it's
for
like
it.
when you come out of high school, it's like you're already touching $250,000. Like some of them, 100,000
Yeah.
minimum. Like you get 100,000 fresh out of high school. Like, what do you like that's crazy.
It can change your life, set you up better than
you know
a
what
lot
I
of
mean.
people.
And there's people that work a job and don't even make 100,000 a year.
Right.
Yeah, which
Right.
is
You're
crazy.
you're an 18-year-old kid getting 100,000. Some of them are getting more than that.
And a lot of those families don't come from great situations,
They
so
don't.
it's like life-changing money.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
It's-
dude,
it's-
$100,000. I mean,
yeah.
$100,000. When I was 18, would have changed my whole
What's
life.
crazy though is like all that Patino stuff that went down at Louisville, and it's like it got blown up to what it is now, and then now it's like it's every single day.
Yeah.
People are getting cars
yeah.
and houses and everything, and it's like
I mean,
we ran
couldn't-
Patino out,
yeah.
and then he was just doing what everybody else was already doing, just under the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he just unfortunately got caught.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it goes.
Well, Andre Magritte. Anyways.
yeah, you can go down that rabbit hole
Yeah,
forever.
for sure. But it's an interesting. It's just crazy how like it all blew up, and then it's like it wasn't even that big of a deal.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
So, what during your college career is there any game or like a time that stood out to you the most? You know what I mean?
I would say probably we beat Wake Forest. They was number 10 in the team at the time, and that was like I think we set a record for like most turnovers in a quarter. So I want to say we had like 8, maybe
dang.
7 or something like that, something crazy. And it was just one of them games. Where it was like, we were kind of losing, and we were kind of trying to find our identity again. They were talking about letting our coach go and stuff like that. So we kind of was like, all right, like we're going to just go out here and just play. And we went out there, and I think we just
Balled out.
and then
Everybody was in
everybody
the
was
zone.
in.
This was at Louisville.
Yeah. And then, I had a play where, Monty Montgomery, he caught a pick and he like kind of lateral it to me. Like I caught it and I ran down the sideline. I'm like, I got to score. And I just knew I was going to score. I jumped over somebody and the quarterback, Sam Hartman, just grabbed my leg. He just fell and just grabbed me. I'm
just
like,
tripped
bro.
you up?
I was like, dog, that was like probably the one moment I'm like, I wish I was
Scored.
Because I
Sam Hartman.
It was like, I'm like, as a defensive player, you don't really get to touch the end zone like that. So it was like,
I
that was
forgot
the
he
one.
was at Wake Forest.
Yeah, that was one of the moments that was like, I
We shoulda got one.
Yeah, but there's a lot of moments I could talk about, but man, I was like just being able to play in your
For
hometown.
you, but as a player, things
Yeah.
stand out to you differently than they do from somebody
They
watching
do.
the game.
Yeah, and being able to play in your hometown
Was
is
that
like,
the selling point?
what?
Like going to Louisville?
I mean, yeah, kind of. I was like, man, once they offered me, I was like, man, I ain't worried. But no, it's like, wow.
Was there any other offers that you were like really?
I mean, I had a few. I wouldn't really say nothing really. It was kind of
Was
like
Louisville like the most prestigious offer?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I had a few I can't speak about after I got offered from
Yeah.
them, but I ain't gonna say the names of the schools, but they were some big schools.
Yeah.
But I just was like, man, I'm kind of set on this.
Yeah.
I mean, I had 25 offers at the time when they offered me. That was
Yeah.
like they were my last offer, and I'm like, man,
So there was one that was like, oh, if y'all would offer me at the beginning.
Yeah, it was
we
like,
probably
man, if
found-
y'all would have kind of hit me up after that, I might have thought about it. But I was like, man, I was set on.
Yeah,
on
once you
Louisville.
make the decision,
yeah, it
you
was.
go with
I
it.
was like, man, I ain't.
And you
gonna
tell
go
your
there.
family you're staying home and stuff
Yeah.
too. It's
And they're
kinda
yeah,
like-
you're gonna break their heart.
It's like Louisville lost that 4-star the other day from St. X.
Oh yeah.
He's
the
going to
dude went
Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Oh,
The money he's gonna get down there.
Yeah,
I
he-
think he's getting like 350.
He's getting $500,000.
$500,000.
Okay, well,
I mean, come
And
on, man.
I was
You're
told
taking that.
I was told it was pennies on the dollar to what Louisville was offering.
I'm sure.
Also, you get to go.
Losing a kid in your backyard though is pretty tough.
Yeah.
But you get to go to Miami.
I mean, it'd be a
$500,000
no-brainer.
in your pocket.
But 500,000 down there, man.
Ain't much.
That's
That's like
what-
$100,000
that's what
here.
we
It's not a lot.
Yeah, that's like
That's
$100,000
what we said.
here.
It's a lot, but it's not.
It's gonna
really.
be more than $500,000 though. He's gonna get a car.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get him on some
And it's gonna be a
commercials and
nice
stuff.
house and stuff like that.
He'll be
So,
taken
he'll
care
be
of.
good,
I mean, it's like a
yeah.
no-brainer.
But,
So now, things end at Cincinnati. You get drafted by the Patriots, get signed. I don't know the whole story,
Yeah.
so you can tell that story. However, I think you were on the practice squad. Is that
no, I wasn't
kinda
on
went
practice.
down?
But I was on the off season like roster.
Okay.
So
okay. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I mean it's all kind of the same. But practice squad, like you got to be signed after they would do the final cut. So
The
they
53
signed
man.
you to 53 man and they cut they
Oh, okay,
roster.
okay.
So I was like, I had a chance, but it was so many injuries and stuff like that, and it just was like, man.
I saw they had like a bunch of safeties.
And they cut 2 of the guys, and they cut one, they traded the other. It was like, man,
I think the practice squad's pretty much like the scout squad.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I was on it, while we was like, I was like one of the top guys. Yeah, I was on there like before we started to really get into like preseason stuff, and then, I was like, man, I had a good chance, and I'm like, and I was doing everything I had to do, and it's just like, man, sometimes things just don't work out, and I didn't really question why. Like when we kind of had a conversation of why I was getting released, it was like, okay, I get it.
They have to make
I didn't sit over. Well, isn't that like I didn't do all that? I was just like, I got you. Like, I
took it on the chin. That's all you can really do, though.
Yeah, and I felt like I had a good chance to get signed somewhere else, which I was kind of surprised I didn't because I had a workout with Indianapolis Colts, and I really went out there. It was a good workout. I felt pretty good about them, and just to see where they're at now, it's like, man, like I wanted to be a part of it.
That would be fun. And with Sauce going down too.
Yeah, and I thought I had a chance with them, but things don't work out for whatever reason. I don't question it. But,
no, the door will open.
Yeah,
when it's time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're still young.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I got a lot of football left in me.
That's what I'm saying. You got a lot of time.
You have an agent?
Yeah, I do.
Let's just say I don't know how all that works.
Yeah, the agent thing is like, man, it helps in a sense, but it's kind of about connections and about who people know and stuff like that too. And the NFL is kind of.
When'd you get an agent? After?
I got it right out there like the season, so like right in December. When like last year, I was.
Do they like do agents try to get you to work with them, or do you kind of
reach out?
Well, you kind of like they kind of reach out and stuff. I had a bunch of them reached out, but nothing really stood out. And I was like, all right, like I've been knowing this guy, so I kind of went with who I was familiar with and kind of knew him.
Okay.
So,
I've always been curious how that works.
Yeah,
like, how does it? Is it like, hey, we got these agents you can pick from, or they kind of sell you?
It's a like kind of a who kind of best fits you, and like who's kind of got more of a better relationship with a lot of different teams.
Similar to recruiting.
Yeah.
Okay,
that'd be interesting. I don't want to know how to pick an agent. I'd be like,
it's overwhelming. Like that whole process, like the whole pre-draft process and stuff like that was very
intense.
Stressful. Yeah,
combine and all that stuff too.
Yeah, well, I went to the pro day and I was like, I graded out top 5 safety out of everybody in the country, and like I was at the pro day, I had like the best numbers out of all the DBs and stuff like that.
So you had people hitting you up a lot.
Yeah, and I kind of got a little bit of buzz, but what kind of hurt me was my last year, a little when I was in and out the rotation, it hurt and stuff like that. It was like, well,
they're
we
worried
see
about
this.
injury.
So they
were worried about
really
that.
harp on that kind of
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, they do,
like,
and they really like the best thing you can do is have a good 3 years underneath your belt. So if you have 3 solid years, you got a pretty high chance of being drafted and being able to be like a top priority pick.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know you needed 3 years of film.
I would say,
but yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Two. I mean, like your first year, okay, but the next 2, say you go out there and you're like your next 2, you just go out there and just go, absolutely nuts. It's like for example,
they're gonna be fine.
Yeah, like Jeremiah Smith, like he's a guy like he has 2, crazy. He don't have to play next year.
He doesn't.
He'll be a first overall pick. Just arguably, just
pick.
I'm gonna say top 5 probably. Yeah, but he'd just do it anyways, just because he has just 2 insane.
And then Ryan Williams probably.
Yeah. And it's like, man, it's about school also too. Like they're 2 of the best schools in the
That's what I'm saying. When you have your coach that can vouch for you, that helps probably.
Right, and you're not in like a slouch conference either.
You gotta think when an NFL coach
games.
calls Saban and Saban's like, "This kid's legit." It's kind of all you need. That co-signer, you're probably good to go.
He's good. It's about connections and favors and stuff like that. What they can do.
Which is
who they know.
Saban have put in so many guys in the league. It's like, how can you not trust this guy's word?
If Saban co-signs you, you're probably safe.
Yes.
Yeah, and that probably goes
for
there's
probably a lot of coaches. There's probably a lot of coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I think those coaches are the coaches we see today. They're doing well. They know how to. Part of being a good coach is getting your players to the next level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that helps you in recruiting, but it also shows your ability. Even if you don't win national championships, which Saban was doing, but it shows your ability to coach young men into men and get them to the next level. Right. Because I hated John Calipari's coaching a lot, but one thing I always liked about him was he was helping people get to the next level, which is the goal. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's true because usually when you go to the pro sports, that's when you really develop. You got to have the potential, but you don't in football you develop a little bit more because you have to play 3 years. But basketball, you get 1 year and these kids are 18.
Well, I mean, like me, for example, when I got to the NFL, it was like I kind of understood some things, and like it was some things where it was like, okay, the rules are different. Like you can't do certain things that you can do in college, you got to do in the league, and then it's like the way you practice and stuff like that. Like when you're in college, you're kind of going out there. It's like it's not really just I would say everybody's going out there trying to kill each other, but it's more.
Hype.
It's everybody's in there trying to play, and it's like when you get to the pros, like it's like you can't go out here and you can't touch this guy. This guy's getting paid $100 million. You touch him, you're definitely getting kicked out
For
of
practice?
Yeah, I swear.
Like you touch Drake May, just know you won't make it home.
Yeah, you're done. You're probably gonna get cut the next day, and I'm just like,
I mean,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, this is what it is.
It's a job at that point.
Was the jump from high school to college as crazy as college to like going to the NFL, like just atmosphere? And
I would say
culture?
probably high school to college was probably tougher than the pros.
Well, I say you go from playing in front of like 100 people to 20,000.
You go from
so
Ballard
those
to
lights get a little brighter.
Yeah, the pressure's more. I mean, I don't really look at that as like pressure, but like it definitely is
more
a
eyes.
lot.
Sure.
More eyes on you and stuff like that. You go out there and you get them jitters. You're running out.
You're 18.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah.
I'm 18 years old. I'm 19 years old. And I'm like, bro, these dudes are 20. Some dudes now. Well, at that time there was dudes that was 25,
big grown
24.
Yeah.
They were 24 years old, 25 years old. And I'm like, I'm 18
They're
years
paying
old.
child support.
Like
they're divorced.
I done been out of school for a year. You done been in college for 10 years almost.
yeah.
Like,
You got a PhD.
yeah, bro. Like it was crazy, but when you got to the pros, it's like okay, like you
Everybody's
gotta
grown
understand-
men.
Yeah, everybody's
Everybody's
grown man. And you got to kind of be about your business. You got to kind of understand to be a pro.
Yeah,
And,
you're a professional at that point.
and you learn it over time in college too. So,
Yeah, that is.
yeah.
Yeah. High school to college would be definitely a culture shock.
I would say it was definitely harder, but you got to kind of get adjusted because you get to the pros, you're like, okay, like this is real too. But once you get kind of adjusted to it, the way they practice and stuff like that, it's not really as crazy, practice wise because it's kind of everybody's
a lot more regimented.
Yeah,
They're looking
yeah.
for long term.
Yeah, they are. They're
Yeah.
not looking for short term. Oh, this
Yeah.
dude go out here and go hit this guy. Do
Just
this.
reps,
and that.
reps,
Like, yeah,
reps,
it's reps.
They're
reps,
trying
reps.
to build a
strategy
team.
and schemes way different
Um,
as like complex.
well, we
wise?
had a lot of. You almost had to check for everything.
Yeah.
And it's like.
See, that's the fun part of football that a lot of people don't think about. Is just the strategy that goes.
Dude, it's
into
so
it.
complex,
It's
bro.
crazy.
You ever seen that video of John Gruden and he's calling out a play?
Yeah.
And the quarterback can't figure it out.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
getting real mad at him. He's
Yeah.
like, "Come on, man, figure it out." And
He'll
I'm
say
dude, I'd
like
have been-
15 words, like X.
I'd have been
Dolphins.
sauced. I had no idea what he was
Cause
doing.
it might be a play when we're on defense. It's like this dude goes in motion. You got to call this. Dude got to go back in motion. You got to call this again. This lineman does this. This dude does this, and it's like, bro, you're
A lot of
like-
brain. You're using a lot of
Are the
brain
defensive
energy.
calls as complex as offensive calls?
Well, I don't really know. Well, I know we used to do meetings. And I used to look at some of the officer calls. It was like
Yeah.
they were kind of thing, but like.
There's like 15 words. For
Yeah,
one play,
it would be
and I'm
kind of crazy. But then you go on defense, it's like, okay, we got this. This
We're
calls
showing
for this.
4-3-3-4.
Yeah.
And it's more about gameplay decision on defense too, like how they line up.
I always
Yeah,
listen
yeah,
for kill, alert,
Yeah,
alert.
yeah,
I always love that
Yeah,
stuff. It's
and
so
it-
cool
you
to
got
me.
to kind of when you got to when we was in like the pros and stuff like that, like you'd be listening to quarterback, he be like saying this and that, and it's like, okay, he's calling me out, he's telling him to block me, and then you get to like you're like, okay,
But is he? You know what I'm saying? Or is he telling
Yeah.
you like, is it a? It's all strategy.
Yeah,
It's
it
cool to
is.
me.
Yeah.
It's cool to
It's
me.
definitely
Well, and that's
cool.
something I think the football players don't get a lot of, they don't get a lot of hype about, but you have to have
Oh yeah.
high IQ
Yeah.
to be able to understand what's getting ready to happen. And the players that do have high IQ are the ones that get drafted.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I would say it's more 90% mental than 10%.
because you're already
physical.
built physically
Yeah.
by the time you get there.
Yeah, you're more
You know?
mental. It's more mental. You got to know like what this guy's gonna do, what his alignment is, how he does this. I keep in this. My
You're
bad.
good.
you're
You're
good.
good. Don't
It
worry about
happens.
it. Tim can quiet it down a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, it's just like it's about like just what this guy's doing, what his alignment is, how he's lined up, what does he what does he do off this formation? Like what do they do if this formation they call this? They might go on bunch. What are they running on this? It's, you got to kind of know that stuff, and you get
That is
that
cool.
over film study. You kind of get that and understand it.
Yeah, that's super
So,
cool.
Yeah,
man.
that is cool.
I've always enjoyed the mental aspect of everything. You know what I mean? I think that anything that I've done that's hard has always benefited me more, long term in life. And like the physical stuff is great,
Yeah.
but like if you can learn how to grind and be sharp even when things suck,
Right.
you can take that. And
That's how you
can,
get to the
and
league.
you can and not just the league, but like whatever in
Elevate
life,
in
you
life,
can
yeah.
literally do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you can learn how to deal with things that suck and keep pushing through those, and you see that in a lot of professional athletes, with the guys that they get to that level, they got there because they were mentally tough.
Right.
You know
I
what
mean, I think it's a 90% mental, like you said. It sounds
Yeah.
like a good one because it's. I mean, not only learning playbooks, but also the
you got to be tough, bro.
The
You know what I mean?
schedule, and you got to keep up. I mean, it's a lot.
That's what I say. And you got to be mentally tough to be physically tough.
Right.
If your mind is telling you can't do this or this and that, like you're not going to be able to do it.
We talk
Like,
about that a lot
like
in
if you
here.
get burnt out, like if I got burnt out doing the high school circuit, playing AAU ball, college would have just been a whole different ball. You know what I'm saying? With
That's
how,
a fear of mine with my kids because I'm like, they're 8, but we're practicing twice a week. We're playing basketball right now. Then we got baseball coming up, and I'm like, I'm going to burn them out. But it's more about like with them when I'm talking to them, I try to keep the pressure off as far as like what I expect out of them,
Yeah.
like to perform. And it's more about like, hey, I just want you to be able to grind through this.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Because the reward's
one of those
coming.
things too. If your kids are like naturally kind of gifted too, you don't think they'll get burnt out as fast. You know what I'm saying? If they're having fun, they're actually good at sports. But if your kid's out there and they're like not really doing
If they were
much,
trash, I wouldn't push them.
you know what I'm
too
saying?
hard.
Like
Yeah,
it's
we're in La La Land.
yeah,
and
it's
stuff
like they don't look like they're having a lot of fun out there. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna really push it, but
Yeah, but I mean, you see these kids that are like they're elite when they, freshman year of high school, and then they're just done, bro.
Yeah.
They're just done,
I knew
because
a
you
kid-
were athletic. You know how it goes.
Yeah,
And then you
and
get
then-
there and you just.
in my senior year, my Achilles just left my body. It
You
was
tore it?
fun. Yeah, well, I did like a level 4 sprain against Moore my senior year. I had like 14 months of rehab on it. I wasn't gonna go D1, but I had like a couple of D2 visits and stuff, like up in New York and South Carolina. But I wasn't gonna go to the NBA at the time. I was a 5'10" white kid, so I just knew the NBA wasn't really in my.
Hey, look, that's what I tell that story all the time. When I was my freshman year, I was 5'8", and so I was a little bit taller than a lot of kids, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be good at ball.
Yeah.
And then sophomore year, I didn't grow. Junior year, I didn't grow, and I was like, nah, I'm good, dude.
Yeah,
I
when I
think I'm gonna sit
graduated,
this
when I
out.
graduated high school, I was 5'10", 180, and then my freshman year of college, I shot up to about 6'2", 210. So it was a big. It was a
So
big
you would have been a good pickup if they had
I
got
was
you.
straight, yeah. But yeah, I did that, and Schuler, Coach Schuler.
Yep.
So that was my coach my senior year at Front Creek.
Okay, yeah. See, that was before they really. Well, it was 2014. Well, they started to really be like real like.
Yeah. So my junior year, we had a coach that I won't name that just didn't put me on the team. Let's put it that way. And it is
That's what
I
I was told when I went there.
I didn't get on the team. But let's just say there was never mind. Anyways, I didn't make the team my junior year, and then he gets fired because they went 6-26. Schuler comes in, host tryouts, make the team, make the summer team, play all whatever. I'm pretty much the sixth man. We had some really good players. Like 4 players went and played at Southeast and a couple smaller.
You
schools.
was with
Or not-
Tony, wasn't you?
Tony Washington?
Washington,
No, he
yeah.
was a year after me.
Yeah, I
So I
thought-
was with Joe Jackson. I don't know if you know him. He's a taller guy. D Stanton.
Yeah.
So So we had a really good roster, and Schuler came in. We were 6-26 my junior year, and then my senior year we finished I think like 23-10. We started out like 11-0. I mean, we had a really good program, but it was ran like what felt like a college program. We're running hills at 6 a.m. on Saturday mornings, and you have to carry your teammate
Well,
on
good
your
coaches-
back.
good
It was
coaches
so
don't
fun,
play.
man. I loved it. It was so fun. And then when I got hurt against Moore, I was like, oh, dude.
And against more of all
I woke
schools,
up
bro.
and what happened was I came in off the bench in the first quarter and I turned the ball over and I came down and I blocked the kid and then I landed on his ankle and I just stood up and said it's broke and then I woke up in the hospital.
Passed out.
I blacked out.
Oh.
I have bits of and then I took my shoe off and it was a softball. My ankle was a softball.
Man,
It
that's
hurt.
rough. That's when you know you're
Dude,
in
it hurt so
senior
bad.
year.
And then I had to go do PT, and I would just go pretty much do like stair steppers. I'd just go there and like just calf raises for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Dude, it sucked. I would like my ankle would give out walking down steps, just
Sheesh.
completely give out.
So in in the college world, when that happens to a dude, like, what's that? Have you ever had like a buddy or something like that happen
Me.
to? Yeah, that's what I
haven't
mean.
had- well-
like, what's your mind doing in those moments?
Well, I would say my first real injury came from in the weight room, and I was back squat. I remember I was back squatting 315.
That's why I don't squat.
I had an open.
we just squatted today.
I had an open set for 315. I had to do 6. I think on the last one, my arm just completely snapped.
Ooh,
I don't even know how. I don't know.
Just like back here?
Yeah, I was just like I went up and like I was like going up
Yeah.
and like as soon as I went up, it just snapped.
ooh.
Like
And,
broke your arm.
Yeah, I broke my humerus. That's
Ooh.
like the strongest bone in your like arm. And like
Ugh,
after
I
that,
can hear the sound.
yeah, and it just sounded like somebody with a baseball bat. That's what I thought it
man.
was. And I'm like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, my arm is just like
Out.
I'm like, what is going on? I'm like panicking. I'm sweating, and then I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
he's going to shock.
And they had to pop my shoulder back in place because my shoulder dislocated, and I tore my labrum. So I tore my labrum, I broke my humerus, and I was sitting there. They was like, you can't get surgery until your fracture heals. So they was like, they might take 2 months. So I had to do rehab. I couldn't even pick up a I off the ground. Like I couldn't even grab a tissue. My arm was so weak. Like
That's wild, dude.
It was literally
You
like
think that plays a part in like the whole draft stuff too?
yeah, that
Injury-
too. I mean, they
injury
see stuff
history.
like that. They're like, oh, his arm's completely broke. Like, but the thing is, like, I came back and they were like, we got to put plate in your arm. I'm like, you're not putting a plate tomorrow. I won't play football no more.
Yeah, because
don't
that'll
wanna do
end
that?
it.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I didn't do none of that. I naturally let it heal on its own, and like it just did what it did. And then like the next year after that, I played. That was the year I started every game. I tore my labrum again on my other side. Came back, was cool, and then I had a couple hamstring, little soft tissue stuff. And then last year I did something similar. I tore my gap strap in my calf muscle. And I did that, and it was a freaking accident. I don't know how it happened. Just breaking, coming out my break, it just broke, and it was like you were like this close to turn your Achilles. And I was like, just imagine like
That's kind of what they told me because it's weird when
Yeah.
they explained how the muscle works. You have 2 that go to the back of your calf and then 1 that goes down the bottom of your foot.
Yeah.
And the way it works is it's a muscle. So think of like a Laffy Taffy. And the way mine did it was it just stretched. It just stretched, and it kind of like think of it like just a Laffy Taffy dangling in your foot.
Come back.
And they said it's safer for it just to snap and it'll grow back faster. But if it just rips like that and dangles, it takes way longer to heal. Yeah. So I could have went in and done surgery, but I was like, I don't want to do surgery. That's not.
I didn't do surgery. I got an injection. It was a PRP injection. Yeah, so that's what they gave me, and it just completely healed. And
steroid.
That worked though.
Yeah, it worked.
My dad gets those in his knees.
I literally was jumping harder than I ever did. I ran faster than I ever done, and I'm like, how did this happen? And
what was your 40?
I ran a 4.53. They said I did. I ran a 1.50 10-yard split. If you go look at the combine, that was it would have been top. Like,
so 4.5.
Yeah, they said I ran a 4.53.
You run your 40 in, Ron? And your peak.
4.5.
I don't know, dude. I've been slow my whole life. I'm probably.
Hey, look, for as short as I am, when I wasn't fat, I was pretty quick. I was low to the ground.
You probably been good at the 5.10.5 then.
Yeah.
Like where you just go like shut on
5.10.5.
Dude, my 40, I peaked.
I never really ran.
Dude, I've never been
football,
fast
so
a day in my life though. The only thing that ever got me in sports was my IQ. That's it. That was never physically really.
Well, see, I don't really think 40 defines you.
It doesn't.
I know dudes
I don't think
like,
a combine defines you
either.
either.
Like, it doesn't at all, but they look at that and it's like, okay, well, this guy runs this, he jumps this, he does this. Like, how does that translate?
It is crazy to think that there's like one, like a series
I mean,
of
they
days,
still probably
and that's
do
your
their
whole
research,
thing.
but the combine seems kind of pointless.
That's what we were
to
talking
me.
about before. Like in today's world, they already know who you are as a player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
especially
they've got
3 years of film on you.
They got you on social media.
Yeah.
What does you come into the stadium and running a 40 in front of me do that I'd have?
It kind of just enhances just their thought of, okay, this guy's an athlete, he can do this, he can do that.
It's also probably a chance to meet you.
Well, and there's some pressure.
Was the interviews fun? Really tough?
I mean, they were asking me stuff that I was like, okay, well, you know.
I'm cooked.
Yeah. I mean, not cooked, but like, why did this happen? Why is this? Who is this? Like, what is this? Why was your son doing? Like, they would ask you real personal questions. I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
not even football questions?
Nah, it was like, they would ask you football questions, but it was also like, you know, okay, what are you at? They asked me like real life questions.
Yeah,
make sure, you know what I'm saying?
You watch like Hard Knocks and they like do like those interview questions and it's like, if this X split right here goes up to a Z sprout, what
they'll
do you
ask
do?
you that too. They would like, I had a Zoom call
playbook.
where I had to do it, and he went over the whole playbook, you know, and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, it was with the Lions. The dude, he went over the plays. Like, he's like, okay, we're going to go over this play. This is what we run. This is what we call this. And then, like, 30 minutes later, he's asking me. And then before that, he was asking me, like, showing me plays of myself and asking me, okay, well, what are you doing this? What are you doing this? Yeah, and then I'm like, okay. And then he comes back, okay, we're going to go back over the plays. What did we just call on this? What is this? What is he calling on this? And it's like, okay, your brain is like.
Yeah.
Your spaghetti
and you're already nervous.
I'm like, I'm on a Zoom call, too. It's halfway. I barely can see the screen.
It's all blurry.
It's so blurry. I'm like, okay. Like,
is that a run play?
He's cutting out in the middle of it.
He's like, okay, what is this guy running right here on this? I'm like, okay, he's running this. And he's like, what do we call this? I'm like, okay,
run route.
And I wrote this all down on the paper. I'm trying to write everything down, but he's talking. It's like, okay, well, this is that's how it is, though. When you get to the league, they're going to literally install something the day before that, and then the next day you got to go out there and
you got to
perform
know it.
Yeah. And they're going to tell you, they're going to call plays from a couple weeks ago. So,
oh man.
Yeah, see, that's tough. That's like what I saw the Hard Knocks, whatever. Jackson Dart. That's like what Dayball loved about him. He like they did a pre-draft interview and they talked about it, and then like weeks later he was like, "What play was that again?" And Jackson just knew it off rip, and Dayball.
Some people like that, man. They can just. I'm not like that. I have to. Hold on a minute now. Hold on, I got to count.
How many plays are in a playbook?
Crazy. I don't even
like
know.
50, 100, 200.
I mean, you got to think about it.
System,
there's so many different plays that they call. It's probably. I mean, I had a playbook that was probably about this thick.
I'd be good.
You gotta, and some of the stuff is like.
I played quarterback growing up. I'd just be like, just go get open, please, please.
Yeah, I mean, I my brain kind of developed into okay. Well, I kind of once you start to understand the basic concept of cover 2, cover 1, cover 4, cover 3, all this stuff. It's kind of just second nature.
Kind of
it's just different terminology.
You think defense is easier than offense when it comes to?
I mean, well, that's the thing too. Is like on offense, sometimes the quarterback might be like, oh, well, he might ask me. Yeah, he might ask you before the play, like, what you got on this. You might be able to go out there. Okay, he might not know how to run no type of no plays, calls, and nothing, but he just knows. Okay, he's running this route on this. Like he can tell them on defense. I'm playing safety. I got to tell the lineman what to do. I got to tell the linebacker what to do.
You got a different angle.
I have to tell everybody everything check.
Yeah.
And the receiver, you might be able to go out there and just okay, the quarterback might, you got to run this right here at this yard.
Try to figure it out if something breaks down.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit, but in defense is either, it's bust or nothing.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What's it look like now? So you got through all that. We already kind of talked about, what you got going on now. What What do you? Dakota mentioned you're doing some things with the community. You know, you're doing some things right now.
Yeah.
Where you at now? Like, what's your current plans? What you got going on?
Well, I want to get back to the NFL. That's my, ultimate goal. But, I just try to be, I'm back home. I had a turkey drive I did not too long ago for, West End School. And I do my camp every year. I've done that. I feel like I want to keep doing that. Just, trying to be, a community activist in a sense, something like that.
Yeah,
just,
take care of the people. Yeah, take care of you.
Yeah.
And, I'm just like, I'm still trying to train and stuff like that, stay fit. I mean, I looked at the UFL, the Kings and stuff like that. I've, looked
they're talking about coming here.
They are coming here.
Yeah, I looked at that too. It's like I want to do it, but if the opportunity doesn't present itself, I still, be okay with
leaving all doors open.
Yeah, I'm leaving all doors open. I'm not closing anything, but I want to get back to the NFL.
Still so young. Like I feel like
no, you're in shape. Like you're gonna figure something out. Some doors gonna open for you for sure, man.
Yeah, I feel like it will, man.
What school did y'all support down in the West End?
The West End School.
Oh, the West End School.
Yeah, so it's the school right there on Virginia Ave down there.
Okay,
so kind of where the Darrell Griffin basketball center. I
know where that's at.
Right there, yeah. So
my boy's baseball coach, he's the athletic director down at a middle school. I'm trying to think of what it's called. They're purple. They're like the Cougars.
Is it Hudson?
Hudson,
yeah, that's middle school. Yeah,
he's their AD down there.
Okay, yeah.
Great baseball coach, man.
Huh.
But yeah, I didn't know if you'd worked with him or not.
Nah. But I heard of it though. So,
yeah. Well, good, man. Yeah, I mean, look, this is just I wanted to bring you in just to have a conversation, get to learn what it's like. You know what I mean? To like come through
see that. That's cool to me. I could probably sit here for another hour and just like pick your brain about
y'all can ask me whatever, man.
And that's cool to me. See the whole process and stuff, and something will open. A door will open.
Yeah. Me too, man. And I'm really curious. Like, if you're cool, I'd love to have you back in once the next door opens for you. I'd love to bring you back in, like get to hear that because now we kind of got the first part, and you're in this in between.
It's a weird time because it's like, man, I'm trying to transition, and I'm still trying to do this and that, but it's
real fresh.
Yeah,
it's all real fresh.
Yeah, man. Like I'm blessed. You know what I mean? Like not too many people get to go do that, what I got to do, and like I said, like I'm still trying to chase my dream and still trying to do what I got to do. But I try to tell people all the time, man, like, don't get discouraged on what doesn't happen when it happens. Be grateful for what happened when it happened. You know what I mean? And like I said, like people look at you played this, and like where are you at now? It's like, man, I'm still the same person I was. I'm just not
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a different level.
Yeah, like and it's hard, man. It's hard, and people don't understand it. They look at like, this and that. Like maybe you're not there, but I mean, like, not just saying, right, but like most people are like, you got released, like you're not good enough for this. And it's like, bro, that's not what it is.
That ain't how it works.
It's not at all.
Well, they're so far from what is even.
Yeah, dudes like me, like watching the TV, like, come on, why did he call that play?
They need to cut him.
But I'm the same way too because on a lot of sports, I'm like, man, why is he doing this? I'm looking at like from a player standpoint. It's like it's hard to really see because like, I mean, I'm a player too, and it's like, man, I wish it sees from a different.
There's just so many moving parts.
But I think you start getting caught up in what other people were worried about, then you can get yourself all in a twist. But honestly, dude. You said it earlier. God has a plan for you, and He's going to open the doors that need to be open when they need to be open. Yeah. And whenever that happens, it's going to feel like that was what you were supposed to be doing the whole time.
Even if that door isn't football.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying whatever that door is.
For sure. And I'm like, man, like I said, like it's other things I want to do, still outside. Like I want to get into other things too. And it's like, now that I'm not able to play football right now, I still can do other things on the side too.
Oh, yeah.
And you might find
You got kids? You got
one kid, yeah.
How?
He's 2.
So, oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
I got a 2-year-old. I got a 20-month-old.
Yeah, I would say, man, he keeps me active. He keeps me, you know what I'm saying? Like
they're great.
2-year-old boys?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's got 2 boys and a girl.
Yeah.
And I got my other daughter will be due next month, so I have 2 girls. He's got a boy and girl.
Okay. Yeah.
So, fatherhood, man.
Dude, it's the coolest thing in the world.
It is. It's a lot of work, dude.
But you're still doing all the groundwork, being a father, doing stuff for the community. Yeah. Doors will open up. And if there's life outside of football and football closes, that doesn't mean life's over. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it don't last forever anyway. Yeah. So you have to kind of set yourself
up. You might find something you love and be like, I'm so glad this happened. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then maybe you get into playing football again, dude, and you're going to look back at this time right now and be like, dude, I'm so blessed that I had that
Those
time
opportunities
with
were fun,
my kid. Because a lot of dudes don't get that time.
Yeah, that would be tough to.
I
always wonder about that. How do people, like all these, like you see like all these analysts that, like Kirk Herbstreit, he's on every single game call. And I'm like, how does he see his family?
Well, he probably doesn't see them that much. I mean,
so
that's just the reality.
It's hard to maintain
It's tough.
I mean, it's like life. Like, it's just like, man, you go do things, and it's like, it's what pays the bills is what gets the job done. So you got to kind of sacrifice that. But, I mean, like I said, like, it just
doesn't come at no cost.
No, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out here and work to, get what you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
and as men, we were built to do that. And that's just a burden we have to bear.
Yeah.
Some guys, they have it a little tougher. But others, I think if we start to look at things like blessings, like in your case where you can go, hey, I got this time with my kid, God's going to work out the rest. Like, you'll be grateful for this time at some point.
You
know
won't.
what I mean?
You won't regret anything.
Yeah, I mean, because for me, dude, for real, when my kids were little, when they were like my boys specifically, I was grinding my face off, dude.
Right.
And then I look up and they're 5, and I'm like, dang, I missed the last 5 years.
Right. Yeah.
And so then I kind of slowed down, and I was like, I gotta enjoy this. And then for my daughter, I was like, I'm not missing that again.
Yeah.
And I was able to step back and like really enjoy that. And that was a blessing. But it took me, my first 2 kids to get that figured out.
Yeah, and that was a hard thing with me being gone and like being in a different state. Like I'm always like I was so busy, and I'm just like, man, like it sucked because I wasn't able to.
But you're doing it for him.
Yeah, I'm doing it for him, but I wasn't there. You know, what I mean, I'm kind of thinking like, dang, like But now it's like I'm able to be back and be around and be able to do this and that, and it's like, okay,
that's cool, man.
That is fun.
Life.
That's awesome, dude. Well, I don't want to just drag the conversation out for the sake of it, dude. I ain't got a lot of questions for you.
Can I just chime in with a
You
question?
can, Tim.
Hold on. You had that mic ready. You've been waiting on this.
I just turned it up. I turned it up. That's all. That's all. Hey,
Look at you.
hey,
He's gonna
everybody.
be like, "Do you think you could guard me?"
Oklahoma drill. Right now.
He did say
said
that
when you got
when
here.
he said, "As soon as you get here, just Oklahoma drill, line it up." I hated that drill growing up.
Nah, it was
dude.
worse. The worst drill.
It'd be kind of hard to knock
And
over.
I'd almost get the biggest kids, dude. And they put me on my dude.
I do have a wide base. All right.
You would definitely be an offensive lineman.
You're going to get low or knock him down.
You have the offensive lineman build and like,
But not the height.
bald head and,
And
the
the
beard.
head. I have an offensive lineman's head.
Low key, you kind of do.
No, man. I was just wondering. You seem like a real chill guy. All right. And also, you've mentioned things about God and stuff. If our roles were reversed, what is like 1 or 2 pieces of advice you would give me
To give you,
if I was in your position and you were sitting here?
I mean, I would honestly like for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in 2 different positions. You know what I mean? I'm younger than you too, so it's like it's different. But I would just be like, man, like just enjoy life for what it is. You know what I mean? And like everybody's different. Everybody wants. I want this. I want that. I want this and that. But like me, I'm very laid back. Like I'm not really a big guy that wants attention. Like you said, you haven't been on camera not one time. You know what I mean? And that's the type of guy I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I just like just cherish life. You know what I mean? For me, I kind of feel like I was living fast at the time. It was like I wasn't cherishing moments of life where it was like,
Be more present.
Yeah, like I wasn't like, it would be like games and stuff like that and practice and stuff. It was like, man, like I'd be like, man,
I don't want to do all this.
I don't want, but now it's like I look back and I'm like, man, like you can't get it back.
Yeah.
You know
You
what
were
I mean?
super blessed to have
Yeah,
that
I
opportunity.
can't get it back. Like, I can't get that practice back. I can't get that.
So cherish the opportunities.
Yeah,
That's what I get.
definitely. You know what I mean? And like, just
Just
whatever you
be,
want to do.
be where you are.
Yeah, and be you. Be
Don't
where
take
your
it
feet
so
are.
serious too. Like don't take everything so serious.
Why don't you calm down, Tim?
Yeah.
I'm calm as a cucumber,
That's a
buddy.
good question though.
Yeah, no,
because-
it's
a great question,
It's
man.
actually it's a hard answer because I'm trying to think of like, man, like what can I? But like me, I would tell myself.
You're
just
talking to you, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
just slow down. You know what I mean? And cherish life and cherish.
Okay,
this
that's how
moment.
I was wondering how you.
Yeah.
phrased
So
that
Tim
question.
he's
Yeah,
He's
I
saying
got
that
you.
he was
Yeah.
me.
He's a
Yeah.
6'2" NFL player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he just wanted to pretend that for a minute.
Dreaming.
I felt it.
Just slow down, man. Just cherish life. You know what I mean?
Cherish
you know,
opportunities.
like all
Enjoy
your
your
blessings.
time with your
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah, enjoy everything. You know what I mean? And
Like you said, it's all for a reason.
yeah,
I
it
love
is.
that, dude.
It
That's,
happens.
that's a great question.
Yeah, it
man.
is.
I think
I've never
there's-
been asked that before.
There's a lot of value in having the perspective of I'm in God's plan and I'm on God's time.
Right, you are.
Yeah.
You know? And I think if we get so caught up in time, it's like, man, like we don't understand that we're on borrowed time. You know what I mean? And you know, any day, any moment, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it could be it.
You got to face what it is, but I don't try
Yeah.
to think like that. I try to think positive. I try to think about the blessings and stuff
That's-
like that.
Yeah.
That's a good way for you to look though too, because I feel like you've probably for the last 5 years had high expectations from people, and
Yeah.
people wanted you to do this and that, and you're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Like you have a lot of shoes that you're supposed to fill,
Yeah.
and then it's like you're like, you can't listen to outside noise. I mean, family's important, but also family can be, a little too much. I don't know. It's just a weird way when you're on like at a pedestal. Like athletes are like they get put on a pedestal, so it's like you have higher expectations, and then if something happens, like how do they view me? How do they, you know what I'm saying? Like there's just so many variables.
And that's like you said, like with injuries, like how it like changed. Like it'd been times where like my whole trajectory could have changed just off of this, injury or this and that. This happened for a reason. I'm like, man, like I was truly, but like I really like, how did I recover for this? How am I still here? How am I able to do this? How am I still able to play football? How am I still able to move? Like, man, like it just, that's what comes with it.
See the blessing in it.
Yeah,
You got to find the happiness in it too.
nah, for sure.
You can sit and sulk, but that ain't gonna do nothing.
You can get caught up in all of it, dude. You can get caught up in the pride of it and the downs and you get too high. You know what I mean? You can
Yeah.
get too high also.
Yeah.
And it can all of that can come. And I think to your point, if you can just kind of slow down and enjoy that moment, there's going to come a time in your life where you look back on that and it's like,
It all
man, I
makes
got to
sense.
really do some cool stuff.
Yeah, man.
Regardless
And
of
it
what
all
it
makes
is.
sense.
And that time, it was a time where I wasn't really like, I'm not saying I wasn't
Same.
cherishing, but I was just
Yeah.
living so like
Fast, bro.
You know, fast, and I was just like, man, like this is supposed to happen, but really, it wasn't supposed to happen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I mean, it was supposed to happen, but it wasn't supposed to happen.
One last question. So when that stuff, like the conversation with the Patriots happened, how did you feel emotionally?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I wanted to cry.
Were you sad or angry?
I mean, I was more like, disappointed. You know what I mean? And I was
Yeah.
like, I knew it. It's a time where it always has to come. But it was like
self-reflection. It's like, what am I sad for?
yeah,
What am I disappointed?
like that
in?
whole
I've done,
plane.
yeah, you know
that
what I'm
whole
saying?
plane ride home was just like, man, I'm just listening to music. I'm just like, over and over my head. I'm just so many thoughts, and I'm like, man, when I get back, like, how am I gonna feel? What am I gonna do? Like, what is the first night? I couldn't sleep for like probably about a week. I was just like, man, I was just like just racing.
Yeah.
I think I sat in the crib for like a week and just was just doing push-ups, just jump rope, and just
Trying to get your head.
I'm just doing whatever.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I was in jail. I barely left the house.
You probably had a moment where it's like, okay, do I keep chasing this, or is it time to branch off and do something different?
And I'm
now?
just like, I'm texting my agent, I'm like, man, like, what's next? Like, he's like, oh, we got to work out with this. We got to do this. I'm just like texting him every day. And it's just like, man, like, I got the workout. After that, nothing came. And I'm like, man, I'm kind of in a point where now I'm at a, kind of a subtle, like, okay. Like,
You're in a good headspace
Yeah, I'm
now.
not. At first, I wasn't, man. I was,
I bet you're not. I mean, you work your whole life for
freaking
that.
out. Yeah.
I was in the Marine Corps, not to compare that to sports or
Yeah.
anything, but it's a similar thing when you get out of that.
Yeah.
That's like what you know. You're 18, you go into
that's all I
that,
know.
that's all you know, and then it's over one day, and you're like,
Yeah, that would be trippy.
what am I supposed to
Like
do?
you were in Afghanistan
Like all the dudes I grew up with, because for those 4.5 years, you're growing up with these guys,
Right.
and you got this team, and you're really, really tight, and then all of a sudden it's just over, and you're supposed to just be normal.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, that's a mental battle.
Yeah.
It took me like 2 years for real to try to like feel like I was normal again.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Like, man, I try to, I view myself as a very, but people look at me differently because oh, you made it this far, you did this and that. But I try to look at myself. I'm a normal person. I try to tell people that. I'm like, man, like I said, I don't really like a lot of attention. I'm a very laid back.
You don't seem like you have an ego at all.
Yeah, you won't see me just really like all up in the mix. Like I'm just kind of step back and relax, do what I do. But a lot of people just look at me differently sometimes. Like I go places, like, man, like I just want to be like.
People know you.
I mean, they do, but I don't try to look at it like that.
You're not like,
and I hate that.
acting like you're better than
Yeah,
everybody.
I don't
you
do
know what
that,
I'm
man.
saying?
I'm very,
I don't get that vibe from you.
Nah, man, I'm very.
I think
Which I
Jack
think
person.
athletes get to that spot really
Some of
fast.
them do.
They get to that space really fast.
I mean, when you got,
I can see
millions
like
of dollars,
a
it
Tom
changes.
Brady or something because he got people trying to probably come to his house.
he's
And then
dope.
that gets
That's a little different though. But when
I
you're
know,
a-
but I'm
yeah.
saying that there is a difference. Like when you're super high level, I get that.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys, they get in their head real early, and it's like.
I mean, college could probably even create that for you. You get a little celebrity status in college, and you
Yeah.
become the man.
Yeah.
You
Like,
do. I mean, you do got to move differently in the sense too, because you can't just be the average
be
person.
careful.
Yeah, you got to be
Yeah.
careful because there's a
People
lot of
will
people.
try
out
to take
people
advantage
be-
of
Yeah,
you.
yeah, and there's a
that
lot of
people
people
are
out here.
jealous.
Yeah, there's not people out here with their bad intentions sometimes, man.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of move differently, but
A lot of people are jealous.
yeah. So
For sure. About everything.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, even we ain't nobody, and sometimes people act like we're the
Just
biggest-
in our industry.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I mean, but that's what comes with it. You know what I mean?
So we'll go. If you're trying to push, you're going to get that.
Yeah.
You know. Well, good, man. I don't have anything else for you, dude. I appreciate your time coming on and doing that. I would love to have you back on again in the
Yeah,
future
for
if you want to
sure,
come
man.
on, man.
Yeah, I will,
And I'm sure there's 1,000 other things I'm going to think about after you leave that we
Yeah.
could have talked about.
Nah,
But
it's
Once he
fine.
signs somewhere, if he does, we'll go to the game too.
yeah, hey, that'd be great, man. Yeah.
That would be fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Colts too. It's real close. I'm a Seahawks fan, so feel free to go ahead.
The Hawks are doing good this year, man.
I know, man.
They're
I
doing
was
good.
nervous when we signed Sam Darnold for $100 million, but he's looking. I like him.
Yeah.
JSN.
He's
You think you could cover JSN?
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I ain't gonna seriously say I can't do nothing. Because
I feel
don't-
you. I
But,
feel you.
but
I
you
feel
know what I'm
you.
saying? There's some guys out there that's like, man.
Oh, if I had to line up against like Just Jefferson, I'd be like, dude, I'm not even about
them
to do
dudes, man, they good.
The reason why
Well,
they
they're,
are.
they're pro
Yeah,
in their
professional athletes,
season.
man.
They've done it before.
You know what I mean? It'll probably be a rep or something. I hope you get the best of them, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's a guy.
Which is a whole different world between me doing it and him doing it too. So it's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
not even the
That's
same.
what I'm like
But
when
you're
I.
guarding.
You think you could cover him?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
But that's like you covering me. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. There's some guys out there, man. That's like they're
Were
real
people
good.
in the NFL nice? I'm going to keep going unless we stop this.
Well,
But,
I was going to stop.
Yeah,
but you
but
just
You
keep
said
on.
like nice,
like players, were they like friendly or are they all like kind
Oh,
of?
I mean, yeah, they're genuine dudes. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You get there and it's like, man, you're a rookie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's guys that get there and they're
Little
like, they're
hazy
already
in the
celebrity
business.
status. Like,
Yeah.
you got, Stephon Diggs, he gets there. He's like, he usually is, but,
He
they
walks in
respect
like
him.
he- yeah.
But I've
he
had
was nice.
Yeah, have conversations with him, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And a lot of people don't get to do that. Like, I've had real genuine conversations with some of them guys. It's like, I done got rise from the guys too. So when I
Like
got
these
there,
vets are actually like
Yeah.
doing
They're
what they're
just
supposed to be
normal
doing.
dudes. They're normal dudes.
Right,
They just
right.
put
But I'm
their-
just saying,
you know
like
what I mean?
vets. Some vets don't do that. They think they're, you know what I'm saying?
They
Like,
don't. Nah,
which
they
is
don't really mess with you. They're guys. It's just how they are as people. You know, they just.
They
That's
probably
how
like that
always
before
been.
they even got.
Yeah, it don't mean that they're they're a bad guy. They're just who they are. You know what I mean?
it might just not be that social too. Kind of.
Well, that's what I mean. There's a lot of guys I think that are probably just like kind of.
You kind of come off like you're rude, but you're just really quiet, maybe.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
really talk.
That is cool.
That is interesting, man.
All right, you got to end it.
I'm ending it right now.
I'll keep going.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. We hope you got some value out of this episode. If you could share the show, we greatly appreciate that. We're doing this thing organically. We will see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah. There's a war going on inside. Just to name a couple, I battle with porn and pride. In a persistent struggle, a reoccurring huddle. A prayer meeting with me and the Holy Spirit. Feeling free, but no, I'm nowhere near it. But thank God for his conviction. The awkward part of me that may leave others in suspicion and call me into question. I confess my addiction. Know it's a lethal weapon. May compromise the mission. Being proselytized from this humanistic system. You think about that until